Here is a 2024 Mini John Cooper Works Clubman all 4 in melting silver metallic over Chesterfield leather satellite gray. This is the final year for this wagon that's a rocket of performance. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to explain to you why this is a sad moment for us in the Mini world. And this year they are going to give a heritage for 1969 special edition. You'll have some badgings on it to illustrate its final year or a farewell. We have the iconic trim package, which includes that chili red roof and mirror caps. Piano black exterior trim. Inside receives heated front seats, active cruise control with active driving assist, and parking assist with satellite XM upgraded Harman Kardon sound system, heads-up display, remote services that will include Mini Connected and Mini Connected XL with a wireless charging pad and Mini navigation. So it's not just exterior that you're getting with this package. It's a lot more in the interior. The grille is going to get the gloss black that's going to surround it with the red pinstripe in between the honeycomb. John Cooper Works badging, so you know this is the performance variant. The lower is going to get the gloss black, LED headlamps and daytime runnings with cornering lights because we do not receive fog lights anymore. It's a more subtle approach, but we have these summer tires covering these 18-inch JCW grip spoke silver wheels. John Cooper badging in the center with upgraded John Cooper Works brakes. You got 4 pistons in the front, which is just gonna help for performance. This is not a track-worthy vehicle. And when you're driving a vehicle that feels like a go-kart, the reason why it's going to feel that way is you're sitting basically right on the front wheels because of the wheelbase design. The power that's underneath this hood, the 2.0 liter twin power turbo 4-cylinder, it has 301 horsepower, which is a lot when the vehicle is just a touch over 3,600 pounds, and 331 pound-feet of torque will get this thing motivated from a 0 to 60 at 4.6 seconds, which is over 2 seconds faster than the standard 2.0 S. So when you're thinking, which model should I go for the last year to pay heritage? This is the special vehicle to get, especially when you get the all 4 because it's an all-wheel drive setup. And the wheelbase just being a touch over 100 at 105.1 inches. So it's not a long vehicle. It's under 170 inches long. Going that quick with this being this low to the ground, it's definitely going to feel like a miniature rocket on wheels. And you'll still get 23 Mpgs for the city, 31 Mpgs for the highway, so it's going to sort of sip fuel for the performance numbers that you get. Anything that has over 300 horsepower is something that puts a sweet spot or gives a smile to my face, especially when you're under 5 seconds 0 to 60. Lower roof spoiler, it gets the gloss black that's going to surround it, and you get that chrome that wraps around the whole vehicle with the Union Jack tail lights to give the signature touch to the Mini Cooper. The lower is going to get even more aggressive. This is John Cooper Works at business. Dual exhaust and a diffuser. This thing looks mean. But what I really like about this is it's the only vehicle you pull the key fob out. Hold the button. 12-volt charger starts off with 17.5 cubic feet of storage, a couple of nooks here on the side. Underneath the floor, you can fold that up and has a little holder there. You have more storage. Split fold the rear bench at a 40-20-40 split to increase the cargo to the Mini. It does sit up a little bit the way the bumpers are stationed. This is the only part that is not so fun. It's a little bit harder to close and you end up putting fingerprints all over the windows, but this is a powerful baby. Let's go inside, start it up so you can hear that exhaust now. Going inside to 12-way power seat adjustment for the front occupants, memory for the driver, heated front seats, and manual cushion extensions. Headroom at 40.2 inches, legroom at 41.2 inches with aluminum pedals. It's a wide footwell. The dashboard gets the same styling as the exterior, so it'll have that circular effect with the aluminum inlays, gloss black, that's going to surround all of the air vents and the upgraded Harman Kardon sound system. Glare glass that will cover the heads-up display, 8.8-inch navigation touchscreen with Apple CarPlay, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. Put it into reverse and those LED rings are actually going to be in play with the front and rear parking sensors. So what will happen is the lights will start changing colors, as you're noticing, when you get closer to objects, as well as beeping to make it easier for you on the reversing. Dual climate control settings. The toggle switches to turn the vehicle on and off, a USB and a 12 volt, storage right in front of the cup holders, and the key fob for the Mini Cooper. Going into the iDrive mouse, it's going to be more sporty. Open up for the first tier, it's a wireless charging pad. Open up again, it's a deeper storage pocket with a USB, leather wrap 3-spoke steering wheel, John Cooper Works badging with the gloss black. It's going to be flat multi-functionalities and flat paddle shifters. The gauge cluster is attached to the steering column, so whenever you move it, it will move for you to make it a little bit easier. It can go through an array of information for the driver, and you can change the driving modes, which will change the look or the color of the display. The dashboard integrates into the door panels with the pattern that goes for the Harman Kardon sound system. You get the satin aluminum that wraps around, one touch up and down for all the windows, a medium-sized storage pocket with a couple of beverage holders carved out. 2 moonroofs are set with the toggle switches to put it back. 38 inches of headroom for the back seats, 33.4 inches of legroom. You have storage behind both of the front seats, air vents in the center, USB ports, cup holders in the center here, and it's going to be soft to touch. The door panel receives the same material that are found in the front, one touch up and down for the windows, a smaller storage pocket with the beverage holder carved out in the front. Scooting into the center, there is a hump on the floor. Feet space will be shared a little bit more because the rails are not pushed back enough. Butt space and shoulder space will also be shared, and headroom is actually not going to be too bad. 301 horsepower in a Mini Cooper. What does this come out to? 4.6 seconds 0 to 60. It just weighs a touch over 3,600 pounds. We have it in sport mode. Let's go. Man, it's a fun vehicle. 331 pound-feet of torque. It doesn't necessarily throw you back, and it does have a little bit of a lag. It gets around 22 to 2300 RPM for it to take off, but it has a go-kart feel, which, what does that mean? Check it out. It's a fun drive. Look at this. It holds itself very well, even though the wheelbase is just a touch over 105 inches. It still has that fun to drive spirit. It is sad that they're getting rid of the wagon, but I understand. It wasn't the best selling vehicle, but near 50-50 weight distribution. Now that's gonna take me to some pros and cons, and starting off with is the pros. You have performance numbers. You have the athletic drive capabilities, room for somebody that's well over 6'3" without any issues for headroom in any seat. Cargo capacity, it sounds like a list that's never gonna end, but this is a great package all blended in, and the 8-speed ZF automatic transmission is seamless. In some cases it can be faster than a dual clutch automatic transmission, which I appreciate that when I'm in a turbo 4-cylinder, because it makes the gear change quicker. Even if you have a little bit of lag, it's going to be a little bit more seamless. Some negatives or cons about the vehicle: it will take you to about 22 to near 2,500 RPM to really liven this puppy up. And if you don't have it in sport mode, you will not hear the exhaust note, and it also filters through the speakers, which is not a bad thing because this is quite normal on all BMW Mini vehicles nowadays. We're going to try to get it as straight as possible to show you what we can do, but it's a Mini. Here we go. The more important take of this is most people think Mini Coopers are slow, and this is faster than the majority of the vehicles on the road. It can beat sports cars, and in some cases, even exotic cars going up to like a Maserati and some Porsches. So when you're considering the packages that you're getting for an everyday fun driving vehicle, Mini and BMW both do it very inexpensive for the power that you get underneath that hood. Some other negatives about the vehicle is when you are closing the trunks, you are going to put fingerprints all over the place. The gauge cluster is attached to the steering wheel, so it helps if you move it upwards, but then I'm sitting like this, and I understand it's a go-kart feel, but I still want to drive like I'm comfortable because I have so many power seat adjustments. If you don't get the iconic trim package, you will not receive a lot of the amenities that's in the interior of this John Cooper Works, which when you get to this price point, a lot of these things should start coming standard. The infotainment screen, 8.8 inch, kind of wish it was the whole circle, and when you get into the reverse, it takes half of that. So you're losing a lot of visual real estate for a look. Some cool things though is when you turn the climate control, I'll turn the camera, you can see it will turn to red or blue depending on how hot or cold you put it. So that is cool because these LED rings not only work for your reverse, but it goes for your climate control. Hold on one second. It goes for your sound system and the RPM, so it actually works quite a bit. That's why I would like to see a larger infotainment screen in the center, because you have all this functionality and it just seems like there's a little bit of wasted real estate. The pattern design, I like how they've done it. They've nailed it. I dislike that this is the last year. I understand they were pretty much the worst selling vehicles, and when you get to the John Cooper Works, it starts getting questionable to people because it's a 50 grand vehicle. But the performance that you've seen in an everyday blend drive is what you're getting. So I can justify the price. I'm not a huge fan of these shades for the moonroof because it lets a lot of light in, especially when you're in the heat of Florida. The car stays hot even if you have tinted windows all around. The interior seating is comfortable. Even though it's a smaller, more compact wagon, it still has efficient room for someone to sit, and it kind of hugs you, a little bit more sport derived, but the cushioning is still comfortable for a long journey. The cushion extensions also help for tall people like me, because if you move the seat in different positions, you can just kind of relax because it's a large footwell also. Because it's smaller in the width, dynamically you can move in and out of things a lot more precise and rapidly, because the 0 to 60 is also very quick. The steering does have some weight to it, and that's because you are lower to the ground also, and the dynamics for the suspension layout. And turn radius at a stop point is going to receive, this is what I mean by tight. It's nearly 1 lane turn lane. That's crazy. Let's see how she goes. It's a fun vehicle. I mean, you will have a lot of fun driving a John Cooper Works Mini.